Goody.
Yeah, since I didn't have any kids to banish, I turned around and invited the robotics team in for their kickoff. So an hour ago, we did their kickoff, and now they're working on their stuff, and I'm here with you guys.
Hey, that's awesome.
So I brought 6 of them in.
When does that start? What grade?
The robotics, it depends on if they're doing FLL, it's middle school, and if they're doing the high school level, it's FTC. So right now, these are the FTC girls. They're the high school girls.
So we have some time.
So.
Okay, so I think it's about 10 after 1, so thank you all for coming. Jenna and I really appreciate it, along with all the other product sale and Girl Scout team we got on the call. Thank you all for taking time out of your Saturday. We have one more person coming in. We're going to start with our vendor presentations. So Jenna, I don't know if you want to introduce or just.
If I want to introduce the guys or if I want to introduce myself.
Either. You're muted.
Apparently they haven't gotten off the Wi-Fi in enough time. So here we go. Thank you guys for coming. We're going to start off today. We have Bob and Mike here from M2 and Trophy Nut. They're here live because they usually are here live, but in person. But they didn't want to miss the opportunity to present all the information to you guys. So I think Mike is going to get started. Bob is here. He's losing his voice a little bit, but he didn't want to miss the opportunity to answer any questions. So if you guys have any questions, you can type them up into the chat. We're recording this so we can show it later, but because you guys are the special ones that joined us today, we're going to have other things available that we'll let you know about soon. So Mike, you want to get us started?
Of course. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And I will start off by saying I miss you because I really do enjoy coming to the training. And last year I had a conflict and wasn't able to be here. And I said, oh, definitely coming this year. And now we have to do this virtually. So I want to say thank you ahead of getting started. If everyone would keep themselves on mute and use the chat box, it'll help with the recording. It'll also help everyone be able to hear. So thank you for that. But I'm going to sort of dive right in and tell you a little bit about the upcoming 2020 fall product program. But before I do, I am going to make sure I say thank you. Thank you for all that you do to support this program. It was very cool to hear about the robotics program and the girls that are participating in that. These are the things that matter now even more than ever. You know, we have this weird thing going on where we don't get to spend as much time in person, and the girls need us now more than ever. So thank you for all that you do to support this program, because our product program, both this and cookies, is only a success because of you. Because while you have a great team at the council, there are thousands and thousands of girls. And without your help, we would never be able to run this program or the cookie program. What you do matters, and what you've done for the girls, not only in product program, but across all Girl Scout experiences, matters to them. My wife was a Girl Scout in South Dakota. She's at her shop today and she's selling stuff because she opened a store where she wanted to sell stuff because she loved the cookie program so much. When she participated as a Girl Scout, she would tell you that her love of selling, her love of talking to people came from that. So even when you don't realize it, the work you do supporting girls really does matter. So thank you. And this year we're going to ask you to bravely share your strengths, and we're going to talk about our theme here in a couple of moments. So let's just talk a minute about the why for girls, because there's a lot of, we always get to sort of how do we do fall product program and how do we do cookies, but I always like to kick off and start with the why, because why we do this is really important. And there's sort of three things for the girls that I believe are the why. One is what girls learn, the monies that you earn and what you get to experience because of that. And then my favorite is always how many troops are out there working to raise money, and then they use that money to actually give back to their communities. So the learning experiences I mentioned a moment ago, excuse me one second. I wanted to make sure that when I share this program with you, I remind you that the learning experiences, I always like to focus on the 5 skills, but one of those skills is presentation skills. And to be able to present your program to your family members and friends is really a remarkable way to learn about presentation, selling, and those skills will follow you throughout your lifetime. Now more than ever, we are constantly on a screen presenting our program, presenting ideas. So it is so important to your learning experiences. And then it goes to what you're going to earn, the money you're going to earn in this program, what you get to experience. Girls, you have so many wonderful camps in Suffolk County, Long Island, New York, and all the things that girls would use the money to be able to go to events. Now, I know we're not doing all those right now, but the minute we're able to, again, earning those monies and having those monies ready to be able to do that, because when we can, everybody's going to want to get back to normal and being able to go to camp, go to sleep with the sharks at the aquarium in Riverhead, doing all these cool things that you get to do with the money that you earn wouldn't happen without you. And I always like to talk about the fact that girls give back, because when girls participate in fall product and cookies, I don't think we talk about it enough, but I hear so many of those dollars going back into your communities with girls doing service projects. And those are the things your family and friends should know about. Because if you tell Uncle Mike, hey, buy this delicious nut and chocolate item, he loves that. But if you also tell him that he's going to be able to help me do a service project or sleep with the sharks at the aquarium, it makes my purchases more valuable. So the why for girls is really an important one. Now, what's your why? Why are you here today? Why do you do this? And I don't want to hear that you were voluntold. I've seen too many of you too many times at too many trainings to believe that. I know you like to say that, but I don't buy it. I know you're here for a reason. I know that the person who mentioned being there with the girls with robotics has probably seen firsthand girls be able to learn about something that probably will benefit them for their entire lives. Because the world we live in, robotics are going to be a part of it. So if you're learning about that now, what a remarkable thing to learn about. And all the things that girls learn, they'll take with them for the rest of their lives. So I know that you've made an impact on a girl, or maybe you were a girl in Girl Scouting and there was an impact made on you. And that is why we're here today, because the impact on the girls' lives matter. What you do matters. What you do today, whether it be fall product cookies or any program, matters. As we talk about gender, you over the last 100 years, the volunteers have made a difference in the discussion about gender when it comes to girls. And we certainly appreciate all that you do to support the girls through this program. And I want to remind you that you are impacting girls with the largest girl-led entrepreneurial program in the world. Those programs generate funds so girls can go on girl-led adventures. Learning experiences happen with all of that. These life-changing experiences happen because of the volunteers. And without you, we would never be able to support the girls in their program. And we want you to remind you that when you trust your strengths and bravely be you, the girls get to do the same. So thank you for all you do to support this program. So we're going to just remind you a couple of things before we get started. This year, we want you to stay focused on the why. Remind the troops that there is more than just about raising money and selling product. There's so much more to this program, the learning experiences. And then I'm going to bet that the monies are going to become very important when we get to go back to normal and you want to go back to camp and do all those fun things. You are going to need the money to be able to do that. And this program and cookies is going to be more valuable than ever. Set goals for your service unit. Encourage troops and girls to do the same, because people with goals are more likely to achieve them. The product and reward deliveries, we'll talk a little bit about that later on, but there's components of this that are very critical. We want to make sure that we're doing that safely. And last but not least, share the value and the benefits of this program, because troop volunteers look up to you as service unit volunteers and trust you. When you share the programs with them, they're more likely to participate. So thank you for all you do. So I'm going to kick off our new theme this year by telling you about our cool new mascot. And we love our three-toed pygmy sloth. And the reason we chose the sloth is similar to the reason why we chose the rhino last year. Because every year, in addition to picking a cool, strong, fun, cool animal, we also want to create awareness, because we believe that part of this should be some learning associated with animals and the environment, because we know how important the animals and the environment are to girls. So last year we chose our rhino. This year we're choosing the three-toed pygmy sloth, which is found on an island off the coast of Panama. Habitat destruction is the largest threat to the species. We want to make sure that we're sharing those things with girls, because I have this notion about Girl Scouts. I know enough Girl Scouts that are great problem solvers, but if you put enough problems in front of a group of Girl Scouts, one of them is going to solve it for you. So we wanted to make sure that we told girls about all the things that are going on with the sloth, so that maybe one day one of those girls is inspired to study that in school and go on to maybe solve this problem, so that all animals can survive in their habitats without having their habitats be destroyed. Now, sloths can swim. If you want to see something funny later on today, type into Google swimming sloth and you will laugh, because sloths actually swim faster than they move. So it is this really funny video, and maybe it's a great way to kick off if you want to watch a video with the girls as you're kicking off your program this year. Less than 100, and this sloth eats the leaves of red mangrove trees. Now, within this program, we have lots of rewards that the girls can earn. This year, our patches all represent our sloth, and they also represent our theme, which is to trust your strengths and bravely be you. To us, that bravely be you is now more important than ever, because girls should go out, be brave, and be themselves. And all of the rewards that you'll see in this lineup are really cool rewards that are tied to the theme. So you have your t-shirt, your patches, your plush. The plush have Velcro on your hands where you can hang it around your neck. We have lots of cool choices. One of my favorites is the sloth socks. I would show you my pair, except my wife took those and I no longer have access to those any longer. When you get them, I'm afraid the girls might lose them too. You might want to get them because they are just cuddly and cool and awesome. All of our rewards are thematic and focus on being really, really focused on our themes, but we also have some cool blingy and crafty and also some techie items. You'll notice that Bluetooth speaker and the craft item, the heartstring light, lots of cool things to choose from in this reward season. The personalized patches this year are back and they are cool, and you have choices. You can pick your background, your avatar in a kayak with your sloth swimming, or with mama and baby sloth and you're hanging out on a hammock. The patch this year is earned by sending 15 emails and selling $350, but that counts in person and online. So those are total sales. But these patches, you get to choose your background. You get to choose whether or not you want your first name, your nickname, or your initials on that patch. But we want to make sure we're even keeping our avatars safe. And that's why if you choose the kayak, in order to follow the safety-wise guidelines, we need to make sure that the avatar is wearing a vest, a safety vest, or a life preserver in their kayak. So even on our patches, we're paying attention to making sure we keep girls safe. Now, what's awesome about your program is that we've done some really great things with the rewards. So on the nut and candy items, you earn 80 cents per nut and candy item, $1.50 for each magazine item. And even in the online portion of the program, we've gotten some feedback from you over the years that there's some higher priced items. So to make sure we accommodate for that, we do 10% of the total direct shipped orders. So when you're selling some of those higher price items, like a $30 item, you'll get $3 for those. So that was feedback that you provided to us, and we wanted to make sure that we did that for this season. Also, if you're a cadet senior in an ambassador troop, you have the ability to get an extra 15 cents. So magazines $1.65, nut and chocolate items, 95 cents. If you're a cadet senior and ambassador, great news there though, you get to earn the patches and the personalized patches, even if you choose that option. You don't get the rest of the rewards, but those girls that are working toward that great trip to Savannah, Georgia, to visit Juliette Lowe's birthplace, or some other cool trip you're gonna get to go on. And by the way, I hear about all these girls going overseas over the years. We hope they get to do that again at some point soon. I didn't get to go overseas until I was in my 30s. So that's pretty impressive that girls get to do those kinds of things. And we look forward to when girls will be able to do those again. Now, there's two ways to participate in this program. It's in person and online. I'm gonna give you some ideas on in person, because in person is a little unique this year, because right now we're in person, but we are not live in person the way we normally are. But you can use your screens and your video chats and all those ways to connect with family members and friends the same way we're doing this right now. You can also use the online system, which I'll get to here shortly. But let's start with the order card and how you would take an order online. So here's some ideas. Host a Zoom meeting with your family members and friends, put that order card up on the screen, and then once you're done telling everybody all the cool things you're going to do with the money that you're earning in the program, ask everybody what they'd like to buy. Tell them to type their order right in the chat, and then you'll have their order all set up for you to take that order in person, but to be able to take it on the order card. You can also take a picture of the order card, text it to a family member or friend, and then call Uncle Mike and say, hey, Uncle Mike, did you take a picture? Did you take a look at that order card? You can actually see all those items and tell me what you'd like to buy. A little bit later on, I'll tell you how to use the online portion of the program to also maximize your sale. But the order card items have a remarkable bunch of items. We've got the peppermint bark rounds in the snowman tin. We've got the new Girl Scout tin this year, which I think is incredible. It's a compass, and it is in the likeness of an old compass that you won't be showing your age if you tell us that you remember that compass, but you can get a commemorative tin with the milk chocolate mint trefoils. Try to say that a few times quickly. We've got lots of other products. I've been giving the fruit slices a little bit of a hard time this year. I probably shouldn't, but I cannot figure out why anyone would buy a fruit slice when you have all these chocolate items. This Uncle Mike would pick chocolate, 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 then nuts before I would ever get to the fruit slices. I don't really want to pick on them because there are people who love them, but we have great variety of products, lots of things to choose from, like the dark chocolate sea salted almonds. We have the dark chocolate sea salted caramels, the peanut butter monkeys, the pecan supremes, just a great variety of products, plus the nut items like the cashews, the Madagascar vanilla honey almonds, and even those honey roasted peanuts. A great group of products to choose from, tins to give as gifts for the holidays. And then if you don't want to buy a product for yourself, but you want to support our Care to Share program, Long Island Cares is a program that many of you are probably familiar with. If you make a purchase for Care to Share, it still supports the troop, and it will support Long Island Cares. So to me, this is a great list of products, great choices. Bob's here today, and Bob's voice was giving him a little bit of a hard time, so I'm covering for him now, but he'll be here. He's been a tremendous support to your council over the years, and I wanted to make sure that I give him a little shout out while I'm covering for him today. He's been a great partner of mine, and I'm really happy to be here with him today. So those are the in-person items. Now let's get to how we can connect with people online, because now more than ever, we're using online to buy things, to shop for groceries and things like that that we've never done before. We're connecting via video chats. So let's talk about how we can use the online experience to maximize our results. Getting started, if you've been here before, you can log in. And by the way, if you participated last year, we saved all your email addresses in your address book. So when you log in, you're already ready to go. If you're new to the program, register and get set up. Once you do that, you'll be asked for your zip code. Once you provide your zip code, we'll ask you to create your ID and password using your email address and a password. And we'll ask you a few questions. What's your troop number? Once you enter your troop number, you'll be able to then type a few letters of your last name. And when you do, we'll present that girl so you can pick that girl and go through the rest of the program. But we ask you 3 questions after you choose the girl. 1 is, what does being a Girl Scout mean to you? 2, how much do you want to earn in this program? And 3, what are you going to do with the money earned? I always like to stay focused on when I'm talking to troops. So all of you, when you're sharing this with the troops, remind the troops to set a goal and then have the girl share that goal, especially if that goal is giving back or doing something fun. Uncle Mike loves it when my niece is doing fun things with her Girl Scout troop, and it makes my purchase more valuable if I'm buying a can of nuts. But I also get to help my niece get to do things that makes every purchase even more valuable when I know about all the cool things we're going to do with the money earned. And then you get to create an avatar that looks just like you. And I don't know if you know this, but avatars by nature are socially distant. So you do not need a mask on your avatar. But we thought because girls might be wearing masks to school or wearing masks when they're out, maybe you'd want to have a mask on your avatar. You do not need one, but we wanted to make sure we had options so that everybody could create their likeness the way they want their likeness. The masks are white with green and green with white, so even when you wear a mask, you'll be showing off your Girl Scout green. Once you've created your avatar, which has almost 4 billion unique choices now, you can then record a voice message. Today, when I talk about online, I'm going to mention 3 things that will help you maximize your online results. The first one is to record a voice message. Girls who record a voice message and let their avatar's mouth speak for them using their voice increase their sales by 51%. So make sure you take the time to record that voice message. The second way to increase your online sales is to upload a photo or a video, but the video is really the one that maximizes results. So if you create a video that tells your family and friends about what you're going to do with the money that you've earned in this program, your family and friends will be able to see that video. Girls who upload a video increase their sales by 100%. So it is a great way to maximize results. Record a voice message, upload a video. Plus, creating a marketing video is a great learning experience for girls to see how you're creating an experience where online I can see what my niece is going to do with the money earned and hear her tell the story via video. The third way to increase your online results is to share via email, but especially to share on social media. Email is still the largest portion of our program, and most people are utilizing that as a way to connect with family members and friends. But girls who share on social media will increase their sales by 27%. So girls that upload a voice message, upload a video, and share on social media, those are going to help you maximize your online sales. And I'm going to give you one more idea to maximize those online sales. The system allows you to print a set of business cards, and those business cards can be printed and handed to your family members and friends. They can go home, type in your URL, type in your code, and shop your store. This year, we had an idea from a volunteer who shared this with us in an earlier training, so we've been sharing it ever since. She said that she takes a picture of that business card and texts it to Uncle Mike, family, and friends, and that way Uncle Mike could get it in the text message, click on it, go shop your store. It's a great way to participate in connecting virtually, but using your business card as a thing that you could take a picture of. As we mentioned before, you can take a picture of your order card. Why not take a picture of your business card and send it for your family and friends to view? So that's another way to get people to your shop. Once you're done setting up your store, we'll ask you to make your choices, which background you want. You want your first name, your nickname, or your initials on your patch. Please provide your address so that when the girls are in their patch, they'll be able to get it delivered directly to them. Then girls, parents, and guardians will be able to manage their dashboard, be able to see all of the send emails, print your business cards. Those are the business cards up in the right-hand corner. And those business cards are available for you to take a picture or print out. You can also check out your rewards. Parents and guardians and girls can enter their order card orders. Remember, when you enter order cards, all those orders you take on your order card, we're just totaling them up on the bottom and entering those 17 numbers, 16 items plus the care to share. It's really easy to do. This year, our platform is mobile responsive. What that means is you do not have to use the desktop version on your phone. You could very simply use your phone, and it'll make it nice and easy for you in your phone format to enter those 17 numbers. So you could really do it from your phone, using your order card, plug them in, saving you time at the volunteers level to have to enter those orders. Plus, parents and guardians can check out the rewards with the girls and also see reports. Your avatar's room is a place you could visit to see your friends' avatars and even see your troop leader and troop product manager avatars. So make sure that the troop leader and managers who log in and create an avatar tell the girls, go to the room if you want to see my avatar to check it out. Another patch and reward that Council has created is called the Cookie Crossover Patch. And the Cookie Crossover Patch is really awesome this year because I think it's a perfect sign of the times. It has your name on it, GSSC, making a difference because Girl Scouts always do, in Fallen Cookies in 2021. And it's got the 4 hands holding up the world. I sort of look at this patch and it reminds me that Girl Scouts do really make the world a better place. And those hands are all in the colors of the Girl Scout uniform. So you can get a patch with your avatar on it, but you have to participate in both Fall and Cookies. Fall, we make it really easy. All you have to do is log in, create your avatar, and send 15 emails. Once you're done doing that, you are now eligible for this patch. If you do that and then also sell 150 packages of cookies, you have the ability to earn this awesome crossover patch. And we are really excited about this patch because I think that the girls are going to really love this one because I really do think it is showing a very important sign for the times. Now, customers will receive an email that has your talking avatar, your message. It gives you the ability to watch the video if you uploaded one, read my message, and do all of your shopping right there while you're making your purchases. So whether you're buying magazines or nuts and chocolates, you're supporting the girls, and you have the ability to place those orders while you're still reading all the great reasons why the girls are participating in these programs. Now, the online nuts and chocolates is one of my absolute favorites because you have two options as a customer. One, you can choose to save the shipping cost, and that shipping cost is saved because the girls will deliver that product. But you're paying with your credit card up front, so all items are paid for when they're bought online, and you can just deliver those products to your family members and friends, and that allows you to be able to do that in a more safe way because you're not having to collect any money. If you want to choose the convenience of having products shipped directly to you and get a larger number of products to choose from, choose the convenience and paying for shipping, and there's an additional 15 items on that store that you can choose from that will give you the ability to be able to have a larger variety, because the one that says save the shipping cost that's girl delivered is only the 16 items on your order card plus care to share. The convenience adds another 15. So a great number of products to choose from if you choose that option. But in either case, customers will pay for their products with a credit card. Entering those in-person orders is done after the order card is finished, tallied up. You'll just enter the totals. Please remind the parents and girls and guardians to do that themselves to save the troop volunteer time from entering them into the system, because it's only entering those 17 items into the program. Reports. Parents, guardians, and girls will have access to all kinds of reports in the system. My favorite is the online Nut Girl Delivered report. That will tell you everybody that bought something online that you need to deliver those products. Nice part about that report is at the end of the girl delivery portion of your program, we will send an email to every parent and guardian that has online Nut Girl Delivered orders, and we'll send it to you so that you can print that off so you know who you'll deliver those to. And this is where I'm going to take a sip of water and then double check to see if in the chat, Kelly or Jenna got some questions that need to be answered, and we'll just cover some of those before we dive into the volunteer level portion of the program.
We had a couple questions in the chat, but it had nothing to do with the presentation. It was about a couple little typos in our guidebook. So someone did make a good point about the fruit slices. So thank you for that. That was fantastic. I personally didn't even realize that, so that's a good thing. But I think we're good to go for the next portion.
And I'm really just kidding. My mom loves those. So yes, I understand. I like to give them a hard time to point out that we have a great variety. So what your favorite and what my favorite, they can be different things. And that's the nice part about the program. With 16 items on the order card and even more available online, somebody will be able to find their favorite. I just like giving them a hard time because I love the chocolate. So now that we're going to talk about, now we talk about the girls and how they participate, let's talk about how the volunteers log into the system. So prior to the start of the program, volunteers, you will gain access to the system at both the service unit and the troop level. You'll receive an email and you'll be able to log in. If you've actually participated before, you'll be able to log in using the credentials from last year. If you forgot your password, you'll be able to click that. And if you're new, you'll be able to create a password. At the service unit level, I want to remind everyone that you are not forced to watch a troop training. We don't have a training built into the system. You'll be able to log in, create your password, and get started. At the troop level, though, we have what we call a troop training video that will play. It's about 8 to 10 minutes long, and that will play before your troops can do anything else. The year we added that training video, our customer service calls went down 65%. So that training video has been very helpful. Remind the troops to watch that training video. It will tell them every single thing they need to know about how the online program works. Then you and the troops can create your avatar, because later on I'm going to tell you about the patches that the troops and the volunteers at the service unit level can earn. But the most important thing we want the troops to trigger in the system is the parent and guardian email blast. Now, we've been using this for a couple of years, and you've done an incredible job over the years using it. Very simply, here's how it works. Troop volunteers will log in. When a troop volunteer logs in, they will be able to check their address book. Council will have preloaded all of the parent and guardian emails into the system. Troop volunteers can double check that we have the right email addresses, to make sure all the parents are there. You can add a parent and guardian if you need to. You can delete one if maybe that parent is no longer part of your troop. You can edit it and get that list ready. Once you click send, you will hold those emails until go day. If you trigger that parent and guardian email blast after go day, it'll go out immediately. So whether you do it before or during, no problem, those emails will go out. But the nice part about this email is that it will come from you to the parent. So when the parent sees it in the email that you sent them an email, they're more likely to open it. We see a 72% open rate on this email, where there's no emails we see get opened that often. And the reason is because it's coming from somebody that you know. So make sure when you're doing your trainings and you're talking to the troop volunteers, to remind them to just go in, double check that the information is correct, click send, and we'll do the rest. That email will go to parents, it'll come from the troop volunteer, and it'll have a link to get started, making it so easy to participate online. And we see a lot of our participation in this program come from click-throughs on that link in that email. In addition, you can manage your campaign by checking out your campaign headquarters. This is where your dashboard will come in, where you can do all the things at the troop level in this program, like send your parent and guardian email blast, send messages, enter your order card orders, check out your rewards. That video will click on each one of those icons and share all the details of what happens when you click on it, where it takes you, how it works. And by the way, once the troops watch those videos the first time, it will be available on your dashboard throughout the campaign. So if later on you need to review a portion of it, you have the ability to do that. And if you don't have the ability to, if you want to forward or fast forward it at that point, you can do that as well. Service units, by the way, you have the ability to log in, and you can see that video if you want to watch it. We don't force you to watch it, but it's available on your dashboard as well. The reports in the system give you the ability to see all of the reports at the volunteer level for all of the girls. Now, I do not understand why people love Excel spreadsheets. Kelly is one of those people. I don't know why. Everybody loves Excel spreadsheets. I know many of the volunteers do. I do not. I don't know why everybody loves their spreadsheets. But we have plenty of spreadsheets that you can pull down about your troop if you want to know who was the top seller and all of that. However, what we also created in the system was a simplified called the Summer Report. That report will give you every detail you need to know about your troop on one page. It'll tell you how much you sold online, how much you collected in person, how many girls are selling, avatars created, how many magazines sold, all on one report. That report can be loaded, could be downloaded into PDF, downloaded in Excel, Kelly. So if you want your Excel, you can download it for yourself too. And then if you want to send that as an email to someone, you can type their email right in the system, click send, and it'll send it a PDF right to that person, right through the system. You don't even have to download it to your computer to be able to get it to somebody else. So we've got lots of great reporting for the volunteers. In addition, service units, you have access to all of that information. When you log in, that troop training video is available for you to watch if you want. I recommend if you take 10 minutes to do that and watch that video, what you'll find is it'll give you every detail how the troops will manage their system. But you can send messages through the system. You can manage the users. If a volunteer at the troop level needs to get in, you have access to be able to help them with that. But one of the most important things is that delivery ticket. In the system, delivery tickets are available after the initial order is placed. You'll be able to click on that delivery ticket, and it'll have, at the service unit level, you'll have one delivery ticket per troop. At the troop level, you have one delivery ticket per girl. And we have delivery tickets for both the product and the rewards. Both of those will allow you to be having an easier time distributing your product to your girls and to troops, and also distributing all of the rewards. Now, as a thank you and a way to really recognize those troops that did an incredible job this year, Troop Fall product chairs will be able to earn a personalized patch with their avatar on it for $1,500 in total troop sales. Now, that is a little bit lower than the average troop sold last year. So we're expecting lots of troops, again, will earn that patch. But at the same time, for all of you, as a thank you, we've made it very difficult this year. We decided to make that level really, really high. For $1 in service unit sales, you will get, I'm kidding, $1 in service unit sales, not a lot of sales. Most of you will likely earn that patch on day one. The only reason why it's $1 is because I couldn't make it $0, because really it's a thank you to all of you for all that you do to support this program, all that you do to support the girls in every aspect of their Girl Scout experience. And it's one of those thank yous. We want to make sure that we give you a patch. Now, this year, I'm going to make sure my patch includes my mask so that when 20 years from now, I show off all my patches to people over the years, I'm going to say, can you believe it? 2020, I was wearing a mask. No one's going to believe it. But whether you choose to do that or not, that is up to you. We're seeing in our programs that are already up and running, we're seeing more of the adults choosing the mask than the girls, which is perfectly fine. Great news is everybody gets to choose their avatar that looks like them and represents them throughout their program. So I'm going to cover a couple of things, what's next, and then I'm going to hand this back to Kelly because she's going to take you through some of the finer details of your program. But what's next, have the troops log into the M2OS when they get their email, watch their training video, and create their avatar. What we find, if you watch the training video, you'll have less questions. If you create your avatar, you're more likely to participate. Once we do that, we are going to do a training next week called New to Nuts to make this even easier for all those new people. And recordings will be available for troops to watch at a later time as well. We're going to encourage the troops to send the parent and guardian email launch. That one is the most important because especially when we're a little more virtual and maybe we didn't get every material, you send that email, we're going to likely see more participation. And as a quick reminder, not that we've had a lot of this over the last couple of years, but parents and guardians are the ones to set up the girl campaigns, not troop volunteers. Every once in a while, we have a troop volunteer that is so gung-ho about this program, they start setting up girl. That's from parents and guardians. That way, the emails and all the things that are shared with friends and family are controlled by the parents and guardians, and we have their permission. Last but not least, Girl Delivered has been an incredible component of this program. We've seen a lot of growth in the Girl Delivery. What's nice is the money is collected online, so the delivery can be done more easily without having to collect the money for anything that was purchased online. Direct shipped. Remember all those extra products, and magazines is a great way, especially now we've spent more time at home. Magazines is a great product that maybe once a month you'll be getting some great reading material, because I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm a little sick and tired of my phone and my computer, and I want to read something other than those two, and this might give you an opportunity to do that. So the New to Nuts training is, you can sign up here, but I think what I'm going to do, Kelly, if it's all right with you, maybe we'll see if there are any questions and I'll hand this over to you.
Sounds good. It looks like the question log is pretty empty. I had a couple one-on-one questions that we will take care of after the fact. Let me just, I'm not all up on my Zoom, so bear with me. So I'm gonna try to share my screen from the point I need. I'm sorry.
And Kelly, if you want me to continue to do it and click it through, I could do it for you.
Do you mind?
I do not.
Okay, thank you. Wow, you've got lots of stuff. Okay, so New to Nuts training, we are doing them virtually this year. Usually we do them in person, but we're gonna host 2 of them. One is gonna be this Tuesday, 10 a.m., and the other one will be Wednesday at 6 p.m. to try to accommodate people during the day and in the evening. To sign up, they just need to go to that link so I can get their information, so I can send them the Zoom link. And we will be recording both of them, and then we will kind of merge them together and then make one big training. That way they can all watch any good questions that came out of both of them or one of them. So I did send this out yesterday through the M2 messaging system to all the leaders that were in the system already. Even if they didn't log in, I sent it to them anyway. So I did get a couple more responses between last night and this morning, so that's a good thing. So, you know, it doesn't have to be, the nice thing about the Zoom is it can be done at their leisure, so they can, you know, rewatch it, or, you know, I forgot something, you could go back. So I think that'll help a lot of new leaders, because, you know, this is part, to me, it feels like this is part of the normal that we're trying to give the girls, you know, in our lives, because, like, you know, normal's a new way now. There is no normal per se, but this gives them a little taste of what it used to be. Nuts and cookies and Girl Scouts. It's a little bit different, you know, because we have to do a lot of virtually and outdoor meetings and things like that. but I think this is part of their normal that we want to give them back. So next slide, please. Okay, so this is just a quick to-do list for the service units, okay? So, just to give you guys a heads up of what we're working on. So obviously I need you to sign your service unit chair agreement. We did do it virtually this year with the WUFU, so that we don't have to worry about sending them in. So we decided to also give you guys the option, you should have received all the paperwork already, but because you guys aren't meeting in person, we thought it might be easier to accommodate the troops too by doing it and also do it as a WUFU form. So the troop chair agreements, I'm gonna send you out links, most likely on Monday, with all the links for the troop chair agreements, so you could share those with your troops. And also we'll be able to take their ACH forms this year via WUFU. So that way they can just upload a picture of their check instead of an actual check. We do need the ACH form filled out every year. Because, for audit purposes, I need to make sure I have all the correct banking information. Something else new we're gonna try this year to try to keep everybody on the same page is I've already created, as Mike said before, I love a good spreadsheet. Jenna knows that. I'm color coding queen. I love it. It just makes me happy. So I created a Google Doc, which I'm gonna share with all of you, that will tell you, we're gonna make different columns. For instance, if someone does their troop chair agreement, we're gonna click next to their troop number that we have their troop chair agreement. If they fill out their ACH form, we're gonna click the column next to that troop for ACH form. So that way you could just go to this shared document and see who in your service unit has done the things and filled them out, especially since they won't be handing in the piece of paper to you. It's kind of just, we're trying to figure out a way to be able to share things with you without you having to email us and then wait for us to respond. We're a little short-handed on staff, so we're trying the best we can to accommodate everybody. So we just thought this tool might be a little bit easier for you. It will not be editable. Only us from council will be able to edit it. So that way it'll be just a read only. And we will do our best to update it, at least once a week. That way you guys can sign on and see who is, up to date on all their stuff. I also am going to add a column in of who still owes money. That way, instead of getting that collections report, we can update it, that way too. I just figure, anything we could do to keep all the information flowing and in one spot will just make life a little bit easier for everybody. So we're going to be working on that diligently this week to try to get that form up and running and share the link with everybody. We're also going to share these links with your coordinators. So it'll not just be the full chair who has access to these. We'll also give it to the service unit. And that way, everybody, there's always two people that know what's going on. Well, if you're not the coordinator and the full chair, that kind of thing. Your service unit trainings, obviously, will be a little bit different this year. They're not going to probably be in person. So that's why we're trying to really get the new to nuts trainings done early. So if you want, you can share those with your leaders, even if it's just the recording. But you should also host some sort of a Zoom meeting like this. That way they can get to know you, who to ask questions to. It doesn't have to be 3 hours long. It could just be a half an hour just to introduce yourself, because we know all of you, but there's definitely new troops out there who've never done this before. And Girl Scouts is very overwhelming at the beginning. We tend to have lots of procedures and protocols that sometimes don't make sense to everybody until they're actually in it. So sometimes just having a friendly face, whether it's via Zoom or in person, gives them that sense of, I have someone to ask. And that's usually how I even start my new to nuts training is. My point is for them not to remember everything, is for them to feel comfortable asking us questions. And that stems down to your service unit also, especially, like I said, for those new leaders. Deposit slips are going to be a little bit different this year. We usually hand them out at training. You usually get a bag full of your deposit slips and all those other things. But this year, we're going to just mail the deposit slips directly to the troops. It's going to cost a little bit, but in the long run, I think it's the best way, because especially since you're not having really any in-person leader meetings, it'll just be one less thing off your table, So for this year, that's what we're going to do. Another change we're going to try for this year is initial delivery. Initial delivery will start November 2nd, which is a Monday. So that first Saturday, we're going to host, I think I sent out a survey, I want to say either early last year or in the spring, about how you guys felt about initial delivery for nuts. So most of you came back that you would like council to do it. And then we had a couple that said, no, if you're going to change it, I'm quitting. And like, we don't want that either, you know? So we're going to accommodate everybody's view on it. So that first Saturday will be council deliveries. So if your service unit wants to host your delivery at a council location where all the product would come to us, and your troops can come to one of the council locations to pick up their product, we will do that. But no service unit can have that Saturday because they're going to be too busy bringing us the product for majority of the council, you know, that Saturday. You can still do service unit direct deliveries. It would just have to be another day besides that day. And I'm going to send you out another link to fill out whatever choice you want to do, because there's a little bit of planning involved. Just like if anybody participated in our curbside cookies this past June and July, we're going to run it the same way. Cupboards are going to be open, but by appointment. So you're going to have to pick a time, a day to come. That way we can make sure we keep everybody safe, okay? So it worked out really well for us. I think we have the system and all the kinks down. So we'll have that out to you soon. I mean, we don't need it out right this second, so we're still working on it. We want to make sure we, you know, get everything correct. So that's how we're going to work initial delivery this year, but that's just for fall. Fall is such a short sale that we felt we needed to give these girls the opportunity to do catch-up orders. Some of these girls were getting their initial delivery like 2 days before the sale was over. So because again, our cookie sale is the longest one known to man. Jenna can attest to that, especially this year. But so we definitely wanted to try to accommodate the girls who wanted to have, you know, a catch-up part of the sale too. So that's kind of it for that. Did not give any purpose. Okay, so make sure, like I said, we're going to create that spreadsheet. So that way, make sure that we're not giving out any paperwork or, you know, or what I'm going to do is right before initial sale is due, because again, everything's a little bit different this year. We're going to go through each troop to make sure that those troops don't owe any money and that we have forms on file for them. Because it's going to be a little different this year because, you know, it's harder. So I'm not too concerned with you handing out the paperwork right now. Let the girls have the paperwork. We'll clean up the mess as we go along, as if you know what I mean. So that's fine with me for this year, especially with the troops owing money. There are still troops that owe cookie money because we just ended cookies. You know, usually I have the whole summer to do collections on cookies, but because we ended cookies so late, we're still behind on that also. I appreciate too, a lot of the coordinators and cookie chairs from last year are helping us with those collections because we're just inundated and there's so many. So I do appreciate the help with that. A lot of money has come in since then, so I appreciate that. After the sale is over, part of your job would be to make sure everybody has allocated their product. That way the girls get the proper rewards. We do tend to send out in-time emails to let everybody know, like, this is coming up, don't forget to do that. But I tend to joke with people that I become that little bird, that little parrot on your shoulder where you just want to flick me off after a while. But it's nice to come from the service unit too. We will send out at the very end, if nobody's allocated their product, we tend to go in and just do it because we want the girls to get rewards. So the system automatically orders the rewards. So if the product is not allocated, they're not going to get rewards. So we try to do the best we can and we try to just guess to the best of our ability. We do, again, thank you for the people who helped us with the money owed for cookies. We do ask the fall chairs to help us out with that too. It's usually not as large as the cookie sale, but we do appreciate any help there. And also you're going to be distributing the rewards. So that's post-sale. When the rewards come in, they'll get directly shipped to your home as long as we have all the proper information in the M2 site. And then you will just distribute them. Just like Mike said, there's delivery tickets in there. You would print up the delivery ticket for each troop and disperse their rewards. So let me just check the chat. I'm just gonna flick for a minute. If there's no changes to bank accounts, and we do need to, without a check copy, I believe this is the way it was yesterday. If there are no changes to the ACH with the bank, they don't need to upload a deposit, a check. They just need to fill out the form for me. That just lets me know that there are no changes, so that way I have some sort of confirmation that their banking is the same. So that is perfectly fine. Oh, good. Melinda actually is on it for me. What did the day initial delivery is not at our house? I lost connection. What did you say about the day that, okay. So again, I'll just say it real quick. Initial delivery starts November 2nd. That first Saturday will be council delivery day. So if your service unit opts into having your delivery at a council site, it will be that day. Service units can still choose to do it directly by themselves, but they would have to choose a different day besides that first Saturday. Okay, good there. I think our questions are, okay, good. I think we're good there. Okay, so this is just a quick, for especially our newbies, this slide of what each troop should be getting. Each troop should be getting a troop guidebook, a troop full chair agreement, which you can still give them the hard copy, but they can fill it out online. An ACH form, again, we created the WUFU. A catch-up form, so that way they can see what a catch-up form looks like and how it works. Deposit slips, 2 per troop. You won't be handing those out this season. We will be mailing them directly to the troop. And receipt sheets. This is for the troops to use to keep track of parent payments. Because I feel bad for the troops that call me at the end of a sale and they have no idea who owes money. And I think we've all had one of those in our lives. I see some smiles. And I'm still getting those. I have no idea who owes the money. They just paid me money. Well, I need something. I need something to go on. So we're trying to give these troops the tools to, help them stay organized, but they actually have to use them. So that way at the end of the sale, when they say, I don't understand why I owe $300, we could take their paperwork and back into it. Without anything to go on, it's hard to do. These troops should be getting materials, a nut card for every girl, an initial order receipt. This is just something we created to alleviate the troops that want to enter the cards themselves and not have the parent do it. It gives them, a little bit less of a hassle of having to figure out what an order card. I used to call it the hieroglyphics card. Is that a check mark? Is that a 2? What is this? So you're basically giving this receipt to the parent. They're filling out their totals and handing that to you instead of handing in their order card. Again, it's just another tool we're giving. Money envelope for them to keep track of their payments. Parent permission slip is still going to be hard copy because unfortunately it's very important and we really need to have that formal signature as of right now. And they're also going to get their colorful M2 flyer on how to get started online. So that is a great thing right there. Thank you. We touched base on this a little bit about training your troops. Most likely it'll be via Zoom this year. And we just wanted to talk about a little bit about booth sales. As of right now, booth sales don't look like they're going to happen in a traditional sense. I personally don't see the stores really allowing us outside of them. I think a lot of people agree with that. So we're trying to think outside the box and ways that the girls can still get the experience of doing a booth sale, but in a safe way. So we came up with last year what was called a standabout, kind of a fun way of saying a lemonade stand. So families can participate this way and sign out a booth sale, but have it in front of their home as a standabout. Drive-throughs are also another thing the troops can do in a safe, distant manner. That's our main concern, is the safety of the girls. We really would love to have a traditional booth sale portion of the sale, but who knows? It might happen, it might not happen. But we just want to, I think just the starting point would be to promote the standabouts, walkabouts for whoever feels safe with that. You know, it's really up to the family at that point to decide. I don't see troops really doing too much of the traditional sense, but if a family feels comfortable doing a standabout, I think that's perfectly fine. And we, you know, as things change, we'll share the information with you too, just as membership does about troop meetings and things like that. I have a question here. If there is a store that will allow boot sales, can we do it? I would say that would be on a one-on-one approval level. So you would have to contact me, and then I can discuss it with Jenna, and we can discuss it with Pam, our new CEO. Because again, our main concern is, you know, I want you guys to sell the product more than anybody, but the safety of the girls comes first. So if you do get approval from a store, let me know, and we'll see what kind of conclusion we can come to that. Regarding the standabout, wouldn't you need a permit? No, we wouldn't need a permit. I don't see a permit needed on that. Wufu is just a company that hosts online forums. Okay, thank you, Jenna. Yes, Wufu, I apologize if I'm, again, making no sense to some people. Wufu is a company that we use that makes our forums, just like a Google Doc or things like that. We just tend to use Wufu because we're more familiar with it. Okay, next slide. These are our boot sale patches that we did come up with because we planned the fall sale and we're planning the cookie sale as if it's going to be a traditional sale. So if anybody does host anything during these weekends, whether at a standabout, a drive-through, or, you know, hopefully a regular boot sale, we'll see in the future. These are the patches that we came up with. They're totally adorable. The girls can still earn them. So we'll just have to take that, you know, your day by day, okay? We need volunteers to help out. Okay, thank you, Jenna, for answering that one. Just a quick couple important dates here. I'm just gonna move my little grid box because it's blocking. The program does begin September 18th, okay? So that is coming up real soon. In-person delivery order taking ends on October 25th. The last day the parents can enter their sales into the M2 site is October 25th. Also for troops is October 25th. October 25th is a hot day in Girl Scout land. Service unit are locked down on October 25th. I then have a day at council level to just go over everything and make sure everything looks good. Then we press the button, and that way we can get all the product delivered to Suffolk County in time to start our deliveries on November 2nd. The whole program ends on November 22nd. So it is quite a fast, short sale. So, but it's really a nice tool for the girls to get their little feet wet when it comes to cookies. So it really is a great sale that is a earning potential for the troop. So I really think it's a great thing to participate in. M2, I have to say, has a fantastic customer care team. So we do get some people that don't, you know, like I said, especially the new troops, they don't realize they could just email us and we'll answer them. So they tend to go to the M2 customer care, but we do work hand in hand with the M2 customer care with any things that come up that we feel that, you know, they might get some questions on. So they really are helpful, especially when it comes to any magazine issues. You call up there and they help out 2 seconds. You know, they're really great. I even refer them because I can't control, like, once you order the magazine, I really don't have much control after that point. So they are really very, very helpful.
Kelly, can I add one thing to the customer service? So we knew this season we wanted to extend our hours a little bit to give you a little bit more support. Volunteers, we know how hard you work even over the weekends. So while you have an incredible team and Kelly and Jenna do an incredible job of getting you answers, we got their backs this season. So this season, what we're doing is we're going to be open 8 to 8 Monday through Saturday. So we're going to have hours 8 to 8 on Saturday. So if you have any questions, maybe if you're you work or school during the week, you don't have time, you're going to deal with some of this on Saturday, there will actually be people answering the phones and emails all day Saturday. We're going to answer emails all day on Sunday. So if you send us an email 8 to 8 Eastern on Sunday, we'll respond to the email. We're not going to do calls on Sunday. If anybody calls us on Sunday, we'll answer on Monday. And to Kelly's point, we can answer any question. Magazine issue, nut and chocolate issue, I can't get logged in, I'm using a version of Microsoft Explorer that Microsoft doesn't even recognize. Like we have all kinds, that was a joke. We have all kinds of things that we can help you with. And we've got your back. So at any point, give us a call. We want to be able to help. And we can even answer questions about dates. So even if it comes on a Saturday, you have a question about a date, don't hesitate, send us a quick email. We'll respond to it. We want to make sure that we've got Kelly and Jenna's back throughout this entire program.
Thanks, Mike. I have a question here about if we're going to send out the troop numbers and the girl counts. We are not going to send them out this year because this year your service unit has access to Looker. Your service unit coordinator should have a Looker account, and they should be able to run you the report you need that is up to date and current. If I do it, by the time you get it, you'll probably be out of date and there'll probably be more troops on there. So this year, your service unit does have access to that. If they need help with that, Laura's on the call right now. And also you can ask your membership specialist. They also have access to all that. If you get desperate, of course, shoot me an email and I'll do the best I can. But they are really the gurus when it comes to Looker. It's really a great system. I'm just starting to really get my feet wet in it. And I really like it. Again, I'm a report kind of Excel gal, so I like anything that, you know, reports on things like that. Trina mentioned that on page 9, it says the parental lockdown on the 21st. I believe it is the 25th, but we put the 21st. That way the troops have a little bit of leeway. So when they tell the parents the 21st, it gives them a little bit of time to clean up the mess, if you know what I mean. Catch-up dates. I didn't mention the catch-up dates, but I'm going to, there's a nifty page in your guidebook that has important dates on it. I'm just flipping through. I have it somewhere eventually. Of course, it's the page I skipped. Page 12 has all your important dates on it. So it just blacked me out, okay? But catch-ups will be, the order taking for catch-ups will begin on the 26th. And then pickup will begin for those catch-ups on November 2nd. We always start pickups the same day as initial deliveries. That way people don't try to skirt putting in their initial sales, you know, orders. So we think that's the fairest thing to do. So that they could start taking orders on the 26th of October, but they can't pick anything up until the 2nd. There is no specific guidebook for the service unit chair. Basically, the only extra thing that would be in there is the slide that showed what you're supposed to be doing and the handouts per troop. I don't know if we did a second one. I'm just not recalling. If we did a second one for cookies, we might have, because cookies is a little bit more. But fall, like I said, is such a short sale that we don't really create a guidebook for it, but it's certainly something we could look for in the future. Maybe we could come up with a short, like 2-pager or something for next year. But any questions? Go ahead.
We can send you guys the slides because we're going to record everything. So if you want access to it that way, it might be easier than
watching the presentation.
Well, I mean, then making a whole new book, because this one is really designated for you.
Yeah.
But we can send it out after.
I'm actually going to write it down right now. That way everybody will get copies of that also. Okay. So we have some award recipients. We do this at every training. So these are numbers pulled from last year's fall sale. So the top 3 service units with the largest percentage of girls participating. In 3rd place, we had Service Unit 2 with 55%. Woo woo. 2nd place, Service Unit 13 with 56%. This is insane numbers, though, by the way. More than half of their service unit. And in 1st place is Service Unit 48 with almost 60% of their girls participating. So what we're going to do is we usually give out some movie passes. So I'm going to mail you guys movie passes to those winning service units. And eventually when the movie theaters open, you'll have lots of things to do and lots of movies to see. So our next one is the top 3 service units who sent out the most emails last fall. So let's see who our winners are. Third place, Service Unit 3, my home service unit, with 1,538 emails. I think probably about 60 of those were mine, from my children. Okay, second place is Service Unit 17 with 1,625 emails. Fantastic. And in first, we've got Service Unit 13 with 1,936 emails. That is crazy. I love it. Love it, love it. So look forward to your movie passes. Our next one is service units with the largest average email sent out per girl. We do that just so the largest service don't always win. So we're trying to play fair. Third place is Service Unit 20 with 11.2 girls. Second place is Service Unit 50 with 12.1 girls. And first place, 46 with 12.3 girls. Fantastic. Fantastic. Service units with the largest girl participation. This is crazy. Third place, Service Unit 32 with 266 girls participating. That is crazy for fall. Service Unit 17, 220, close second. First place, Service Unit 13 with 200, and I think I typed that wrong. I did this one backwards. Okay, so we've got that first, second, and third backwards. Congratulations, everyone. Kelly will get it right eventually. Next slide is a thank you. Again, we can't thank all of you guys enough, especially in these trying times. You know, coming up with a new normal. I don't even like that word, but that's the word that's always used. It's really just, I think Jackie Morgan said it at one of our coordinators trainings. It's amazing to see the resilience in the service unit volunteers and the troop leaders that just take the ball and go with it. My girls just had a meeting at the park for their silver award. They just got back a little while ago because they're finishing up their silver award, and it's just amazing. I mean, our leaders I could speak for mine personally, for my children. Night before the first day of school, they're all getting emails and calls from their leaders. Congratulations, girls. Good luck in middle school. I mean, it's really a different breed when it comes to Girl Scouts. And I've been here for 15 years and have loved it for 15 years. And hope to be here for another 30 if you guys will have me. And appreciate all you do for my daughters and for all the girls of Suffolk County. So I thank you for your time today, especially. Let me just see if there's any more questions. Troop agreement so troop chairs from last year will get email from M2 with troop agreement. It's not going to be from M2. It's going to be directly from us with the troop agreement. So as long as they fill out their WUFU form, we'll add them into the system. Then they will get added and get the welcome email. Just checking out our last little. So got it backward, Pam. Okay, thank you. Okay, again, if you think of any more questions, feel free to email us. You could do product sales at gssc.us. You can also email us directly. Jenna, myself, Melinda, we're all here for you. We are going to do the best we can in the times we're in. We're working a little bit of a hybrid schedule still. So some of us are in the office some days, some of us are home some days. So we do just ask for a little bit of patience. Trina has a question here about service unit rebates. What's the question, Trina? What about them? How much? I just have to look it up because I just don't remember off the top of my head. I believe it is, I want to say 2 cents an item, a unit, but don't hold me to it. I got to look it up because I only do it once a year, so I just don't remember off the top of my head. But I will confirm with you guys on that one.
I think it goes up depending on the sales.
Yeah.
It's the same as last year, but we'll send it out. Just so you guys know, so the office is there's 2 days a week. We're still on an A/B schedule, so we're only in the office 2 days a week. we're working from home the other days. And we're also we're short-staffed because just the council right now is a little bit short-staffed. So, Kelly is still the email you guys on a Sunday kind of person, but we don't have like a data entry person. We don't have someone to do all the booth sale things. We don't have any of that right now. So we're all kind of just juggling. Anne and Maria are on the call. They're helping out as much as possible. So we're all kind of, buckling down and doing whatever we can. But so if it takes another day, don't take that, it's not because we don't want to get the information out to you. We're going to do everything possible to get it out to you. It's just we have about, 6 less people than we usually do. But.
Yeah, it's just some things that, unfortunately have to be done in the office, especially when it comes to like pulling people's paperwork or, things like that. I can't do that from home. Something that might have taken us 30 seconds to get you an answer on just might take us a little bit more time. Everybody's been really patient with that, and we really appreciate that, because we do try our best to get everybody what they need as soon as we can. If you sense that we missed you or maybe forgot something, which is definitely possible, shoot me another email. I'm not gonna take offense to it. In the times we're in, we're just all trying to do the best we can. Again, there's nothing I can say but more than thank you.
Kelly, I just want to say, I get to work with a lot of Girl Scout councils. You, Jenna, your team, your council, so supportive of the volunteers. Volunteers, let's have a hand for them because they do an incredible job to support you. Somebody asked me recently, about what I think about's going to happen with the Girl Scouts. And I said to them, with COVID and all that's going on, I said, have you met a Girl Scout volunteer? Nothing's going to happen to the Girl Scouts. This is going to be, your Girl Scouts are going to be better than ever because of the volunteers. Living in your community, I get to see Girl Scouts all over Suffolk County all the time, and they're always doing remarkable things. I thank you for all that you do to support those girls because they make Suffolk County a better place and certainly the world. So thank you for all that you do. Jenna and Kelly, thank you for all that you do to support the team. And I look forward to eating barbecue with you next year at camp when we do this live and in person.
Okay, so we do have, not just for the top selling ones, we're gonna do some sort of giveaways. So I'm gonna pull up the participants list. Okay, and I'm gonna just randomly scroll and I'm gonna pick some winners. Okay, I'm gonna close my eyes, I'm gonna roll up and down, and I'm gonna point. And then we're gonna give away, what'll happen is we'll either get them to you by delivering them or ask you to pick them up when there's something else to pick up. We don't want you to make a special trip out, but we will get you your rewards as soon as we possibly can. So I'm just gonna open up my notebook so I can keep track of who's winning. Or Melinda, can you do that for me? Can you keep track for me of who's going to win and write it down for me so we can get it done? Okay. So I'm going to randomly close my eyes and pick. Okay. I got one. Who do I have? Kathy Servone. Kathy Servone, you've got some really cute coasters coming your way. Yay, Kathy. I don't know if you can see them because of my background, but they're really cute. Okay. So, okay, now I'm going to scroll again. And I'm going to pick. Okay. Who is Galaxy A10E? Guest. Anybody? Anybody?
If they type their name in the chat, then maybe we could pull it up.
Yes. Anybody belong to that?
Do you want to say it again?
It was, hold on. I got to minimize. Galaxy A10E. Who belongs to that? Okay, we'll go to the next one. We'll give them a minute. Okay, I'm going again. Okay, we've got Liz Roeder. Liz Roeder is the proud owner of a tumbler. Thank you, Liz Roeder. Yay! Okay, so I got to keep track that way I don't overpick. Okay, so next I'm going to do another one.
Oh, okay. Galaxy A10E is Laura Nealon.
Okay, Nealon. Neelan, you're gonna get this really cool bag. Yay! One other thing is we're also gonna be giving, I totally forgot now that I'm looking at it. We're gonna give everybody in Girl Scout land that is on this training right now a Girl Scout mask. Okay? So we will mail these to you.
They're
And
not
that way-
available for retail. We don't sell them. So they're only gifts for special people that do so much for us. So if you try to buy it in the store, you're not even going to be able to do it. Just
Nope.
gifts.
So I just wanted to put it on so you guys can see it. It's pretty neat. It's actually very comfortable too. So we're going to be mailing those to you because they're light enough that we could throw them in the mail. So that's a good one. So Lauren Nealon got the bag. So what else I got? Let's see. I got, Jenna, why don't you pick a winner?
I can't scroll.
Okay, I'll scroll. I'll do.
I have my
We
fingers.
need some music or something. I'm dying here.
No, I can sing.
Okay, I'm going. Okay, next one. Melissa Cassisi Villa. If I said that wrong, I apologize. She is going to be the proud owner of Girl Scout mug. Yay. Okay. Let's see what else I got. Hold on. I got more. Melinda better be writing this down because I'm not going to remember. Okay. Next. Okay. Got a winner. Cindy from Service Unit 3. Hold on. I got another. Let's see what I got in this one. Okay. We've got a mug with a little treasure inside. It's a keychain. So that's our winner for that. So put that one aside so I don't give it away again. Try not to break it. Okay. Next one is, okay, we're going to go with DC Guest. I don't know who that is. Tell us who you are. DC Guest, eventually when they say who they are, will be the proud owners of coasters. Yay for coasters. Okay. Let's keep going. I got more. I'm gonna pick Jennifer McGrew is going to be the proud owner of, I think, another mug. Yep. Pretty mug. Courage, confidence, and character.
DC is Deirdre Cardarelli.
Deirdre Cardarelli.
Service Unit 2.
Okay, so I've got two more. So let me do my last two. Okay, I'm looking. I'm not looking. I'm looking, but I'm not looking. Okay, let's see who we got. Nancy Guest. Nancy is the proud owner of a mug and a keychain. Nancy. Okay, I've got one more. And then we will release you for your rest of your Saturday. Okay.
The birthday mix that you got was just a gift from Bob to all of you for everything you guys do.
Okay, next one is Christine Pamatat. I probably said that wrong and I apologize. I'm horrible. Proud winner of a bag. So we will get you all these items. If for some reason you didn't get your birthday party mix, shoot me an email. A couple of you were added in after the party mix got shipped. So just let me know and we will get you a goodie. Again, thank you so much for coming out. There's some really nice comments and I just love them all. Someone thanking Bob for the party mix. You know, that was lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much for the wonderful training. You know, it really helps us feel that we're helping you. So thank you so much for coming out, spending the afternoon with us, and just being fantastic.
Thank you, Bob and Mike, for joining us on your Saturday. We appreciate
Missed
it.
you.
Thank you all for joining us on your Saturday. Especially if you know it's going to be recorded, the fact that so many people came just shows how great you all are, and we just thank you so much.
Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Kelly, and thank you, everybody. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Feel better, Bob.
Yeah, thank you.